So a few weeks ago, I had a heat deflector I had to make with a Sublime logo on it, and for some reason, I cut an extra Sublime logo, and I decided to keep it. So for a few weeks now, it's been sitting. We can look over here, right around here. Just been sitting there, doing nothing. I think you saw it. There we go, hiding right over there. And so I was like, oh, what can I do with this? So I'm gonna make a sign out of it. I got some cool copper powder coat that I've never used before, so we're going to make a sign out of the Sublime sign, very similar to heat deflector. I cut a back piece already too, so there'll be no plasma cutting today, but I get to try a new copper powder coat that I've never used before that's got 2 applications for it. Maybe I'll do some pinstriping on it and we'll mount it up. So let's get to making a Sublime sign for the house. All right, here we go. So here's the Sublime sign right there. So it's pretty cool, cut pretty nice on the Langmuir Crossfire Pro. There's the back, we got some more draws. So the first thing we'll do is remove the draws from both the back of this sign and also we'll move it from the back of the deflector part and we'll get to it. So we'll start grinding away first. So in this section, I just used a DeWalt grinder and a flap disc to basically go and remove dross. I also had some pieces, some of these little fine cut pieces that didn't want to come out, so I removed them. And basically just continued on removing that dross from the backside of the Sublime Sun. So I just picked up, I'm a big fan of the DeWalt grinders, upgraded from Harbor Freight to DeWalt. So I got a bunch of them, and I just picked up this new DeWalt brushless grinder. It's pretty cool. It's got like an electronic brake on it and stuff, and I'm also starting to try to use these Scotch-Brite flap discs. So we're gonna give it a shot for the front of this. Normally what I would do is usually put a clear coat on a lot of these. So we'd like to see the grind marks, but this has been sitting a while, so it's got a little bit of rust on it. Let's see. There's some rust. So we're gonna try these Scotch-Brite flap disc bags, see how that works. I've used them for a couple of things and they work great, but I've never really used it for like this part in the front. I've been starting to use it for blending of some welds. So we're gonna give it a shot for this, see how it works. Same thing here, just using that Scotch-Brite flap disc to basically go in and clean up the top surface of this part of the sign. And it works out pretty good. So to make the lip of the base plate for the Sublime Sun, I'm going to take 30 inches, which is the diameter of that base plate, times it by pi, which will give me the circumference, which is about 96 inches, and that's what I'm cutting this cold roll steel to. And once I have that piece cut, put it into the ring roller, where I'll roll and roll until I get about the shape I need for that 30-inch deflector, or that 30-inch base plate, which you can see up against that fridge there. Then I come in with my MIG gun and I start welding that lip to the base plate. About, I guess, every 8 or 10 inches, so I put a tack and just keep going all the way around until where I have to clamp, cut, and then weld the seam together. Then make sure the ring looks good, place the piece on top to make sure everything's all lining up and good, and then we're going to place a washer on the back side. This is how it'll get hung up. The one washer should be fine to hang this up. 30 pounds to go on the heavy side, so this will be having stuff. And that's it. There it is. Made. Then we come up, clean up the edges a little bit, give this top a quick sanding with about 80 grit sandpaper, 80 or 120, I forget what it is, just to give the steel a profile for the powder coat to stick to. So I just got done reading the application guide for the copper powder coat that would go over this, and when I purchased it, you needed this polished aluminum to go underneath, and then the transparent copper would go over top. And I was just looking on the internet because I was debating on what to do next, and I'm gonna try doing it without this. So with the transparent copper, I should be able to keep some of the kind of like the grind marks from the Scotch-Brite, and I'll kind of give it a little bit different look. If I want to go for like a solid copper look, I would do the polished aluminum underneath it. So there'll be another project coming up where we'll try this and then this and see how that looks when it's done. But for now, we're gonna do this. So next thing I'm gonna do is I'll probably get the little oven heated up and get this shot and go to the next part. Or, oh, see, I might have to use the big oven because the next part's pretty big. Well, the backing will face this. I'm gonna take a look. All right, so we're either getting the oven going or I'm gonna get the other part done next. And in this step, I'm just applying a healthy dose of the satin black powder coat. This is gonna get cured in the oven for 10 minutes at 400 degrees. Once this metal piece gets up to that actual temperature. And it's pretty much do the front and back. Pretty straightforward. So in case you're wondering what that satin black looks like, I mean, there you go. It's pretty nice finish on it. Look back a little bit. You can like almost get a reflection out of it. See, where's my hand? So pretty nice finish on that. So let's wait and see what the copper looks like. Unfortunately, I forgot to hit record while I was doing this, but I went back and did a dramatization of the actual application of the translucent copper here. See how it looks. So that's translucent copper, fresh out of the oven. Pretty sick. We'll take a look at it again in some better light. Okay, so it's a little bit later in the day, everything cooled off, and now we're going to assemble the Sublime Sun to the black base. I mean, I could probably leave it after doing that, but we're going to try to do a little bit of pinstriping, a little design work on the outside as well. So as you can see, came out pretty cool with that transparent copper. Like, I'm pretty digging it. So, yeah. So let's get this going. Here I just use some of these aluminum spacers that I use pretty much on anything I have to offset something from the surface. 1-inch stainless steel bolts go down through everything, and a stainless steel serrated nut on the back side. So it's relatively easy to put together sometimes. Okay, and then we flip it up. Go to the back side here. And then I got this guy, this little Milwaukee ratchet. Works great. Come in. And pretty much, let's get this up. I mean, I could leave it like this, clean up obviously my greasy meat hooks that get left all over the place even despite wearing gloves, and leave it like this and hang it. But what I think I'm gonna do is maybe something decorative around the edge here, and maybe come in and do a little detail on this with some pinstriping. So that's gonna be next after I clean up everything. So let's get everything cleaned up and then go on to that. All right, so I got all my pinstriping stuff here. I'm gonna do the white first. I think I'm gonna do a white around the edge. I'm gonna attempt to. I don't pinstripe very often, so this is going to be interesting. Got my little pinstriping brush here. This is all custom shop stuff. I think I got it on Amazon. I don't remember where, but so far it's worked. Allegedly, there's like a little hump on one side of this to hold it, and I think it's over here, but I don't know. It's a pretty cheap brush, so whatever. I just hold it however I feel like it. So let's start with the white. Lettering enamel, it's called, right there. That's it. So usually I do a few drops into one of these little cups. I add some of the reducer to kind of thin it out a little bit. So what I'm going to attempt to do is, I don't know, maybe I'll start with some features on here. I'll kind of follow through before I start really wrecking onto the black there. So I have nothing in mind. And here I just basically just keep going around adding whatever features I want. A little shaky. This is my second time pinstriping, and I figured what better way to learn on something that's basically mine. Though, like I said, if you want it, let me know. We will figure out how you want to get it. But anyway, so I just keep going around adding some white highlights to this. No real rhyme or reason to any of it. And then I'm going to continue on basically going on to the outside edge at some point too. Say hi. So Charlie says what? No red and yellow because that's hot sauce and mustard?
No, ketchup.
Oh, ketchup and mustard. So she said blue.
Yeah.
But I don't think blue will match with this.
How come?
Because I don't think it will. Because the copper is like reddish yellow. Definitely yellow, right? Or no yellow, maybe red. How about just white and red?
Okay.
Okay. Say bye.
Bye.
Alright, so here it is. Get to look close up at some stuff. Alright, So we got the translucent copper from a little bit from afar. Kind of cool. I don't know. I'm not good at pinstriping, but I'm trying. And I guess that's all that matters for myself. Though if someone wants, just let me know. Work something out. But in any case, I just wanted to kind of play around a little bit with this copper, this translucent copper, which is kind of cool. Next time I'm going to do that silver base coat with this on top so we can kind of see how it really looks. I probably won't pinstripe. But in any case, there you go. Hope you enjoyed this or got something from this. You either learned what not to do with pinstriping or get your greasy meat hooks all over black, because then it's next to impossible to get off.